We are very excited to welcome you today to the Future of the SIOP Nursing Network webinar. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Courtney Sullivan, and I am chair of the SIOP Nursing Network. Today's webinar is the final webinar in the series, The Past, the Present, and the Future of the SIOP Nursing Network. The first webinar, coordinated by Rachel Hollis and Carola Frieding, discussed the history of nursing in SIOP from the 1990s to 2020. We heard firsthand accounts of key achievements and challenges overcame by several nurse chairs, including Faith Gibson, Patty Byron, Tina Baggett, and Lisa Morrissey. Our second webinar, coordinated by steering group members Natalie Bradford and Mohammed El Kudamat, featured current contributions of nurses across SIOP and opportunities to get involved. We heard about the QI Nursing Scholars Program, Nursing Congress Program Plan for Ottawa, and activities of the Global Health Network Nursing Working Group and Baseline Nursing Standards Task Force. For today's agenda, we will begin with an overview of key SIOP initiatives relevant to nurses by SIOP President, Dr. Guillermo Chantada, followed by global nursing priorities with SIOP Secretary General, Dr. Julia Challinor. I will then share about the SIOP Nursing Network future directions. We will end our webinar with an open dialogue with our speakers, steering group members, and all of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Guillermo Chantada, SIOP President, who will share key SIOP initiatives.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a big pleasure for me to be here with you today and sharing with you what are we doing at SIOP and why we think that SIOP, can you see my screen now? Let me share again. You can see now, right?
Yes.
For some reason, I can't share. I can share the full screen. Let me just go back.
Okay.
Here I am. Okay. So, well, thank you again, Courtney, dear friends. Let me just introduce you on what are we doing at SIOP and why do I think that SIOP is a great place to be for you as a nurse. So, SIOP was established back in 1969, so it's quite old, and it's the only global multidisciplinary society for our specialty. So we only do pediatric oncology, and our membership is really big now. We have more than 2,600 members, professionals, healthcare professionals, nurses, medical doctors, parents, researchers. So we all share a common purpose, which I always said is just to change the world. Because what we want to do is that no child will die of cancer. So that means we want to change the world. And if you are here today with me, with us today, it's because you also want to change the world and make no child die of cancer in the future. I hope we can see that. We know that perhaps we will not be able to change all the world, but maybe we can change much of the world. And by curing perhaps more and caring for all, that we will be doing our part in changing the world. And how do we do it? How are we going to change the world? We will do it through our mission. Our mission is global collaboration, education, training, research, and advocacy. And in the next few slides, you're going to see why and how are we going to do it. First, we have a very diverse leadership. We have people from all over the world, from all over the disciplines. We have people that know everything. And it's great. It's a really unique possibility that you have this board of members at SIOP. You can approach us. You can find in each and every one of us that we are here to talk. We are here to learn. We are here to teach. We are here to listen to you. And our knowledge is different from in the many different areas of pediatric oncology. So SIOP is the right society for you. I'm absolutely sure about that, and I will tell you why, at least in these few minutes that I have. Again, coming back to the leadership, we have a continental president. Each of the continents have a president, a representative that you can go and talk to him or her. And again, as you see in the picture, very diverse, a lot of knowledge, a lot of people doing pediatric oncology, psychologists, people doing brain tumors, people doing renal tumors, people doing leukemia, people really, everything is summarized in the knowledge of these continental presidents. If you in fact are interested in public health, you take it seriously. I want to change the world, so I want to work where the many things are being done to change the world, to save all the children in the world. You can come to SIOP because we are part of the WHO. We are an official non-state actor in relations with the WHO. We support very heavily the GICC, the Global Initiative against for Childhood Cancer. So again, this is one important way that you can change the world with us working at SIOP. If maybe you say, well, I'm good for engaging with people. I like to work with others. I like to hear what other people are doing in many different disciplines. You can come to SIOP, of course. You have nutrition networks, supportive care networks, of course, nursing networks. You have for young networks, you have for women, we have for psycho-oncology. Everything that you would like to interact, if you're someone that likes to interact with other people, SIOP, again, is one of your societies, and you can do it online. All these things happen online. Just all you need to do is become a member, engage in these groups, participate, and learn. Suppose you want to do research. Okay, you say, well, research is my area. I would love to be very much involved in research. Well, SIOP has the PARC program, the program for advancing research capacity, and we work with cooperative groups in all the continents in the world. So if you want to be engaged in research, you can come to SIOP and be engaged in the cooperative group, so you can see which are the things that we are going to do, that we are doing. We collaborate, we engage, we do it never alone. We do it with many groups, with many people. Suppose you are not so much interested in research, but you still are interested in providing evidence-based information to other colleagues, because we want to help our colleagues to work in different scenarios where perhaps research is not available at this time, but we have the area collaboration with St. Jude Global. In the area collaboration, we work together with many disciplines, as you see in the slides, with parents, with radiotherapists, with surgeons. We work together just to make available to the colleagues that are working in low and middle income countries the best available evidence that they could use for treating a child. So another way to be engaged with SIOP. Suppose you're a young person, suppose you want to have interest with people that in your age that are sharing the experiences that you are right now. Well, we have the SIOP, Young SIOP Network. You can come, we have dedicated working groups. We have dedicated time during our Congress, even social time for young people at SIOP. No matter if you're a nurse, no matter if you're a doctor, no matter if you're a psychologist. In fact, our chair is an advocate. So feel free to come. You're always welcome to come. And if you really want to go to the next level, you can come to our congresses. There you can do everything I said in 4 days. in 4 unforgettable days, sometimes, usually in very nice cities, with surrounding, you're going to be surrounded of 3,000 people. Imagine the lot of opportunities you can have by coming to our congresses. Maybe you can say English is not my language. Maybe I don't feel quite well. You know, I always said that bad English is SIOP official language. So you can always get around. We are very mindful of the language differences. Sometimes we have even sessions in other languages. You can come to SIOP. You can come to our Congress. We wait for you in Ottawa in October for a life-changing experience. And then if you're not decided yet, if you want to change the world, I'm sure that if you come to Ottawa, you will come back saying, I will change the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chantada. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Julia Challinor, SIOP Secretary General, who will share with us about global nursing priorities.
Thanks, Courtney. Let me share my screen. Presenter. And let me diminish this. It's certainly a pleasure to be with you all here today. I'm going to now try to expand from what Guillermo laid out the groundwork for and take you to think about the future of nursing in general and how SIOP Nursing Network might fit into that, and how you as nurses working with children and adolescents with cancer and perhaps survivors could think about global nursing issues in the larger sense that I think we need to be a part of and to be at least conscious of and see how we fit in that larger global effort from the nursing side. The workforce I'm going to start with is the WHO, the World Health Organization, wrote in 2020 a strategic plan for nurses and midwives. And actually, I think that came out in 2021. The resolution started in 2020, I think. And the quote, to work to the full extent of their education and training in safe and supportive service delivery environments. I think that resonates particularly with oncology nursing because of the supportive service delivery environments. I still suffer because we know we have colleagues working without adequate PPE or protection when they're mixing or managing hazardous medications. I think too that we struggle in pediatric oncology nursing because we are so subspecialized to really, even nurses who have trained in pediatric oncology, to get acknowledgement from their government and to be accommodated with appropriate salary and acknowledgement by the government for the full extent of their education and training. And so I think we have work to do there, but I believe that WHO, and especially now beginning with the Global Initiative for Childhood Cancer, is starting to recognize that. Part of that work is we have to document and in a global way, what is a pediatric oncology nurse? What are the competencies? What does it look like? These are all the sorts of things that the SIOP Nursing Network is starting to tackle. I think climate change and cancer is now a major issue. I think that more and more healthcare authorities and governments and funders are starting to think about the quote, environmental exposures to ultraviolet radiation, air pollution, disruptions in the food and water supply, environmental toxicants and infectious agents, and basically disruption of health systems that have been essential to cancer control practice. This is an article by Dr. Hyatt et al. From 2020, which is actually an older article. There's more and more coming out today. And I think we as oncology nurses everywhere have to start thinking about what is our role in addressing climate change and how it's affecting particularly our patients, but also our nursing practice. I've given you in the bottom here, and maybe Courtney can share later the slides. I've given you the links for this WHO strategic plan, as well as this article by Dr. Hyatt and colleagues. Migration is a major issue. It's absolutely a crisis in low and middle income countries that can least afford to lose nurses that are trained in oncology. There are countries that are forbidden to recruit from by the WHO, and yet other countries, high income countries like the UK and the US continue to recruit from these countries. There was recent news about particularly Ghanaian nurses and the large number of nurses leaving Ghana at the moment for economic opportunity in the UK. They say even if they're banned from being recruited, that nurses are not unaware of social media, and they can also see calls for nurses to be recruited by agencies that are ignoring the bans. And so we also have to think about migration not as simply a negative situation. Just because a nurse goes and seeks greater economic opportunity somewhere else, or an opportunity maybe to work to the full extent of their education and training, they also bring with them great talent, wisdom, and practice from their home setting, which can enrich and improve care in the destination country, because they will understand, especially if there's a large immigrant population there, that the local, perhaps high income country nurses are not familiar working with. So it's a mixed negative and positive situation, migration, but we should be aware of it. Diversity, equity, and inclusion in many high income countries in particular, you can see the data that the percentage of nurses of color or those who are underrepresented are out of balance with the percentage of in the population. So in my country, in the United States, the number of nurses who are nurses of color or Asian Americans, or you could say African Americans, or you could say Latinos, is not in balance with the percentage that we see in the population. And that's reflected in how patients feel comfortable accessing healthcare. So we are working very, very hard to try to get better diversity, equity, and inclusion in the nursing workforce who are caring for the children and adolescents with cancer. So families see nurses who look like them. And that includes men too. We are doing a woeful job recruiting men to nursing. Leadership in nursing, and especially in pediatric oncology, we've got to look at nursing national cancer control plans. One example is Cameroon, where our colleague Glenn Mabaugh, Dr. Glenn Mabaugh, was a member of the team writing the Cameroonian National Cancer Control Plan. I think that's one example, and we should be more of us doing it. International nursing societies, the International Council of Nursing, ICN, has a Global Nursing Leadership Institute. You can look that up online, and if you're from a lower middle or low income country, there are bursaries to support you attending those leadership institutes if you are selected. Global non-governmental organizations, one example is the UICC, which a past president was Sancha Aranda, who is a nurse, and healthcare funders. One example is Partners in Health, which has a 335 million revenue in 2022, works in Haiti, US, and Peru, among others, who has key nurses working in their organization as funders. Finally, let's see if I can get this to advance. It doesn't want to advance. Let me do this. There you go. I want to put a final call out. This is an article. I put the citation at the top. The title is "Our Future is Global, Nursing Leadership and Global Health." And I think pediatric oncology nursing sits well in this. And these are quotations, 4 quotations from this article, which I think speaks to all of us. We need to start speaking with one voice and in a language that appeals to policymakers has not been one of our nursing successes, nor has the ability to persuade policymakers to take effective action on nursing issues. In the bottom left, nursing history in many countries and at regional and international levels is strewn with evidence-based policy reviews and reports making excellent recommendations that go largely unheeded. And finally, in the bottom right, compounded by structural inequalities related to gender and social class, nurses' attempts to push for reform have not gained enough traction, and change has not happened fast enough or far enough. So I challenge you to follow up with what Dr. Guillermo Chantada has just presented, and we have to start speaking with one voice as SIOP Nursing Network. We have to speak louder. We have to insist, and we have to push our way onto leadership and initiatives, because nobody is going to wait around and invite us. So please, welcome for coming today. We appreciate your attention and your time, and we hope that you'll come to help make SIOP Nursing Network even stronger, to have a louder voice both within SIOP and globally. Thanks a lot, Courtney.
Thank you so much, Julia, for that excellent overview. It's very impactful and very powerful and motivating. All right, so now let me get my slides. Need to go. All right. Next, I have the pleasure of sharing with you the long-awaited reveal of the future of the SIOP Nursing Network. First, I'll begin by sharing about our strategic plan. So some of it may be a review for some of you, but I think it's important to show our entire journey. The SIOP Nursing Network is a global community of nurses and non-nurses who are passionate about the care of children and adolescents with cancer and their families across the care continuum. The nursing network includes all SIOP nurse members. We are comprised of 410 nurse members from 71 countries and 121 non-nurses who are physicians, allied health professionals, etc. Overall, we have more than 500 members from over 75 countries. The nursing network is overseen by an elected steering group, shown here. The SIOP Nursing Network was officially restructured in October of 2022, when SIOP changed its nomenclature of committees, networks, and working groups. At that time, the Nursing Committee was renamed as the Nursing Network Steering Group, and all SIOP nurse members became part of the Nursing Network. Non-nurses are also able to select their interest in joining the Nursing Network within their SIOP profiles. As a newly named network, we embarked on a journey to establish the first SIOP Nursing Strategic Plan to guide our activities over the next 5 years. This plan was developed with input from SIOP members and non-members. It is also available in Spanish on our website. We envision that all children and adolescents with cancer and their families have access to specialized nursing care. We are driven by the mission to advance the quality of nursing care of children and adolescents with cancer and their families through global collaboration, education, training, research, and advocacy. We established core values to help us foster community and guide future decisions. We are a global community of nurses from diverse backgrounds, cultures, languages, and countries who share a passion in our care for children and adolescents with cancer and their families. Each member has a unique place and voice in our community. We foster international nursing, interprofessional collaborations. We value the coming together of diverse expertise, experiences, and perspectives to advance pediatric oncology nursing globally. We are setting the standard for clinical excellence in pediatric oncology nursing practice globally. We learn from and listen to one another as our unique perspectives and experiences benefit all. Network, We promote shared learning opportunities through ongoing professional development, scholarly dissemination, and mentorship. Our strategic goals mirror those of SIOP and focus on advocacy, clinical excellence in nursing research, nursing education and training, nursing membership and engagement, and strategic partnerships. I'd just also like to ask that everyone mute your microphones because we're getting a little bit of artifact. Thank you. To advocate for children and adolescents with cancer and the nurses who care for them, we plan to launch advocacy campaigns to promote awareness in adult cancer nursing, promote global dissemination of the SIOP baseline nursing standards, facilitate SIOP nurse participation in the WHO Global Initiative for Childhood Cancer, and integration in SIOP's work plan. To promote clinical excellence in nursing research, we plan to support the development and implementation of nursing standards and best practices in diverse clinical settings, provide mentorship opportunities in research, evidence-based practice, quality improvement, and education, and foster and promote opportunities for nursing research through scholarships and grants. To facilitate nursing education and training, we plan to disseminate pediatric oncology nursing knowledge at the annual SIOP Nursing Congress Program and Education Day, and advance pediatric oncology nursing expertise through ongoing professional development and shared learning opportunities, including in multiple languages and through the SIOP Knowledge Center. To increase nursing membership and engagement, we plan to provide engagement opportunities, including the development of nursing network working groups to foster an active year-round SIOP nursing community, which you'll learn more about soon. Develop a communication process for nurses engaged in key SIOP committees, networks, and initiatives. Recognize exceptional nurses through scholarships and awards. Promote and expand membership benefits to nurses internationally. And leverage the experience and expertise of former SIOP nurse leaders by creating opportunities for continued involvement. To strengthen and expand strategic partnerships, we plan to appoint nurse representatives to key SIOP committees, networks, and initiatives, as has been done in the past, when invited to do so and in accordance with that said party's terms of reference. Strengthen collaborations and engagement with the 6 SIOP continental branches and regional nurse leaders. Facilitate childhood cancer nursing and interprofessional research collaborations. And explore opportunities for collaboration with key stakeholder organizations, such as nursing associations, patient and family advocacy organizations, foundations, and healthcare organizations. Now that we have collaboratively established our strategic plan, it is time that we operationalize it together. As a nursing steering group, we have been thoughtful about how we might increase our reach and create new opportunities for members to get involved throughout the year. Our first action is to create a nursing program working group, responsible for coordinating the annual nursing program at Congress. This working group is led by Dr. Marilyn Hockenberry, who is our scientific committee representative from the nursing steering group. The local organizing committee nurse representative, Carrie Stewart, now sits on this working group and the steering group for her 1-year term. Together, Terry and Yanyan Lim, steering group member, co-coordinate the education day. We issued an open call for working group members earlier this year and are grateful to have received such outstanding candidates to form this inaugural working group shown here. To facilitate communications with our members, we established Facebook and WhatsApp groups that are managed by our social media champions shown here. We have also established the SIOP Nursing Regional Leaders Group, comprised of all steering group members from the SIOP Continental branches and SIOP International. Over the past year or two, nursing leadership groups have begun to form within the SIOP Continental branches. We formed this group to enhance cross-communication and collaboration amongst the nursing leadership groups with SIOP International. We currently meet every 2 months via Zoom. Here are the chairs of those SIOP Continental Nursing Steering Groups. To leverage the expertise and experience of former SIOP nurse leaders, we have formed the SIOP Nursing Legacy Leaders Group. This group will serve as a sounding board for the steering group when needed, and we hope it will help to encourage continued engagement of these valuable nurse leaders within SIOP. We held our first induction ceremony at SIOP Barcelona this past year and plan to meet annually. The Legacy Group will play an important role in keeping the flame of our SIOP nursing history by chronicling our story. We envision that this will be a living document that will be added to over the years. I'd like to thank Rachel Hollis and Carola Friedink, who are spearheading this important project. We are now in the process of commissioning 2 task forces to identify 2 to 3 priorities for development in the areas of research and advocacy. These areas will be aligned with our strategic goals. The task forces will function for 2 months, and we look forward to sharing their recommendations with you at Congress during our annual nursing business meeting. In the future, we are open to the possibilities of establishing new working groups. Likely, the research and advocacy task forces will result in the formation of working groups to mobilize the priority action items. We will also have the need for an education and training and membership engagement working groups to operationalize these strategic goals. We are also excited to announce the plans for restructuring of SIOP nursing. Presently, there are nursing groups in 2 networks. Within the Global Health Network, there's a nursing working group and baseline standards task force. In the near future, nursing will sit within a unified structure with the Global Health Network Nursing Working Group and Baseline Nursing Standards Task Force moving within the nursing network. We all believe that this will strengthen our voice and collaborations within nursing across SIOP the whole, as well as beyond. Together, the Nursing Network Steering Group, Global Health Network, Working Group Co-Chairs, and Standards Task Force are committed to developing a structure where all SIOP nurses have a voice, a place, and an opportunity to get involved. This organizational chart visualizes what the nursing network structure could look like, with a dotted line of communication to the continental nurse leaders groups and the legacy group and respective working groups functioning within the network, which is comprised of all SIOP nurse members. As we organize ourselves as a nursing network, I believe we will be better positioned to focus our efforts and leverage nurse members' expertise to contribute to global multidisciplinary initiatives within SIOP and beyond. If you are interested in joining the steering group, nominations are now open for one member-at-large position. You can find this information in our WhatsApp group, as well as in the weekly bulletin. It will be announced next Thursday. It is also on the SIOP website under the news tab. We will now open for remaining time for discussion with our speakers and steering group members. And I will hand it off to Elianeth Kiteni, steering group member, to moderate this session.
Thank you, Courtney, and thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you for the presenters for all the presentations that you have given us. So now the floor is open for discussion and questions. Please feel free to write any question on the chat and we can post it here. Well, maybe I can just ask one question to President, our President, Mr. Guillermo. Thank you very much for joining us today. But just from your experience, maybe, how do you envision the nursing contribution to the SIOP broader initiatives? How do you envision this nursing network?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, I think it's multidimensional. It's the nurse's role. It's integrated to all our initiatives. There is virtually, I don't think there is any SIOP initiative where nurses cannot join. As I said, there are many ways of engaging in participating of the dedicated networks like the nursing network, but also in other, for example, in the education, in research, in area, in the GICC. All of our activities are open to nurses. So, and it's not open, we welcome nurses. We need more. And so everything we do at SIOP is for nurses too. And we are very lucky to have the great network that we have for nurses. And so it's a lot of enthusiastic people, a lot of professionality, great diversity, different angles, different people from different continents. I know sometimes it's difficult for because sometimes we don't have too much time. Sometimes we are very overwhelmed with work, and I know that. But still, a lot of things that you win by belonging to SIOP, by networking with us, by interacting with your colleagues, I think it's really worth it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's really the nursing is multidimensional, as you mentioned. We have a question here from Larry. He is asking, do we have a program focusing on the students, nurses pursuing undergraduate or postgraduate program in pediatric nursing? Courtney, you want to respond to that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. At this point, we're focusing on nurses who are practicing in pediatric oncology, either in research, education, in general, anything related to pediatric oncology as far as what we're offering. But this includes nursing students as well. If you have any ideas for specific needs, please do let us know. Because we would love to be able to encourage people to specialize in pediatric oncology nursing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone want to add? Marilyn, maybe want to add something on it?
No, hi, everybody. I was just thinking, if you live in an area where, you know, our International Congress is being held that year, it'd be great to, you know, attend, because there are a lot of meaningful sessions that would be really appropriate for students. And if you want to get involved, start coming like you are now to these kinds of seminars to learn more about SIOP and then begin to engage. And I also, if you're on a continent where there is a regional SIOP group, do get involved with them as well.
Yeah. So I think, Larry, you're okay with the response with that. And welcome if there is any other question or anything that you want to bring on the table for discussion. Yes, Julia, I see you raising.
Yes, I think we don't do a great job reaching out to schools of nursing. I think that we could do a better job everywhere. I'm talking about every country, really encouraging nursing students to consider oncology. It's a scary subspecialty, I think. And in many countries, nurses are wondering, am I going to be able to manage chemotherapy? Everybody dies who has cancer. I don't want to work with children who are going to die, this kind of thing. I don't think they see what we see as the incredibly fulfilling, and from my side, you know, the privilege of taking care of children and adolescents, especially, and young adults with cancer, and what a difference you can make with these families. I think that we need to share what we experience and what we feel about it and know about it, and explain that we don't just put nurses on the unit and say, here's some chemotherapy, give it. That we have a very strong process by which we train nurses to do the care that we give. And I usually, when I'm traveling in other countries, I usually say, please don't join us if you're not very smart. Please don't join us if you get tired easily or you don't have a lot of energy, because this is not the field for you. If you really like to be challenged, if you are interested in technology, the beauty of oncology nursing is we have outpatient, we have inpatient, we have research, we have people who like technology. We definitely need people who understand technology, because even it doesn't matter what country, we're getting faster and faster and better treatments. We have immunotherapies that are available even in what used to be considered low and middle income countries. We have problems in our own high income countries with families that can't get access to care. So we need nurses who are interested in psychology, nurses who are interested in public health, nurses who are interested in helping families figure out how to get their child by transportation to their treatment and stay in treatment. We have space for nurses who are interested in working with children who are at end of life, or young adults who are at end of life, teenagers. We need specialty nurses just who like working with teenagers. So I would argue there's a space for any nurse in oncology. I can't imagine what you like best that we couldn't accommodate and find space for you, and that you wouldn't strengthen our nursing team. And I think that I really love doctors, I want to tell you, but I think this is one of the things doctors don't understand. Nurses are not robots. We are not technicians. A robot cannot cure any child with cancer, even if they give the chemo perfectly, okay? Because you need to be a person. You need to be a nurse who is smart, skillful, understands how to walk in a room and see that a child is in trouble or a patient is in trouble before they get in an emergency, and not when the emergency is happening. So I share with that so that you guys can also tell your stories from your setting, how you feel about how you might recruit a student. Or did I just say that whole thing and muted? No?
We heard you. You just
You
muted
heard
us.
me. Great. Okay, I couldn't tell. Thanks.
Oh, wonderful. Mhm. So I'll address Linda's comment here about, is there a way to add nursing student scholarships? That's something that we are discussing actually, because we recognize that as well. Other organizations do this, so we'll be looking into whether or not we can provide one as well. Mhm. Great idea. Thank you. Mhm. Thank you for the support.
She's asking if there are any efforts that are national conferences. Can
Sorry,
everybody?
I didn't hear that. Would you mind repeating?
Yeah. Well, I will say that there's, can everybody hear me now? Okay. Mariam was asking what are the efforts have been made to increase the presence of nurses from low middle income countries to participate in these international conferences.
Well, how about Marilyn? Do you want to address this from the Congress Planning Working Group?
Yes, it's a great question and something those of us in the nursing steering group spend lots of time discussing, and our planning group as well. I can tell you SIOP is extremely supportive with working with other agencies like My Child Matters to gain scholarships. We are waiting. So for those of you that are waiting to hear whether or not you have a scholarship, I'm waiting also. So we're hoping that we'll have lots of scholarships to be able to distribute for our individuals in those countries. And so we are constantly looking and working with SIOP administrators to be able to seek more funds. And I'm hoping they've been very, very supportive too. As soon as we know that you've been notified, or anybody that's been notified of that scholarship, we're going to be working on your visas because there is some concern there to be able to get into Canada. And we're also going to be working on housing as well. So stay tuned. But it is a concern. We wish we could give everybody a scholarship. And as you know, we can't. But we are increasing those, greatly increased last year, and I'm hoping we'll have many more this year as well. Courtney may have more to add to that.
No, perfect. Thank you very much, Marilyn. Yeah.
Well, just waiting for any other question from the chat. While waiting for that, maybe I can just ask Julia. Julia, I know I've known you for quite a long time, and I've seen how you have been working so hard to make sure that the nurses in both low and middle income countries have been pulled to the SIOP, but also I've seen how you've been working so hard to make sure that the nursing network grows stronger day by day. So just for your wisdom or advice, because I know that you have been there ever since when the network started, what are the experiences that you think that happened in the past and they should not be forgotten for the future? Because now we are discussing about the future of our network. So what are these experiences that should be carried forward to strengthen this network?
Don't go directly there.
Thanks. I'm going to be mercifully short this time. I don't know why I got carried away before. I think the big difference now in SIOP, and I think going forward, is you see nurses in committees and in leadership positions we didn't see before. So my one call is, when you see a call for an election, don't worry if it's not for the nursing network, if it's for advocacy, if it's for supportive care, if it's for, I don't care, president of SIOP, for goodness sake, put your name forward. It doesn't matter right away if you don't win the first time. You might have to run 2 or 3 times, but that way people will see nurses are interested in SIOP leadership. We want to be on the board. We can do these things. Run for continental president of your continent, of your region. Run, please put your name forward. The more nurses that run, the more nurses will win eventually, because that's the only way we're going to get a voice. So don't hesitate and don't be afraid. Guillermo will tell you, he's always saying, let's find a nurse, get somebody to run, because he truly believes, and I think the board truly believes, that nurses have a place at the table, but we can't be there if we don't run. So think about it.
Fully agree, Julia. Yeah, absolutely. It's not, as I said, it's not that we have only a nursing network. Nurses are part of the leadership. Nurses should be more part of the other networks and working groups. You're always welcome, and we need you. It's SIOP needs more input and work, and so you're always welcome in any position that you think you can contribute.
I would like to say too, just to add to that question, you know, from the past to the future, I think we're coming together as one within one network structure. I think that's really powerful, and it's key to us being stronger. You know, divided we fall, united we stand. So us being together, having one voice, having a shared vision, having open communication and dialogue, to really create a community that we're all proud of, that we all want to be a part of. Having shared ownership is key. We're trying to create that structure, to create that language in terms of references, to put in place leaders and to foster and mentor others to lead, so that we have sustainable opportunities for people to become involved. But I think one word of caution, I would say, and this is something that, you know, I've been thinking about and commenting often about, is, you know, a structure should work for us, not us for a structure. So whenever this structure becomes greater than the work that we do, we're doing something, we need to change it. And a structure, like I said, is something that should be fluid and dynamic. It is to help support us to be the best that we can be and to accomplish the goals that we are desiring to accomplish. So I think right now with this network structure, it's the time for it. I think right now for nursing coming together, it's because it's the season for it. Whereas before it was different. Our society has evolved. So being in tune, you know, with what the needs are, and taking a pulse on our membership and where we want to go, and preparing, coming together so that we to meet the vision and the mission that Guillermo and Kathy have set forth for us as an organization.
I echo all the discussion that has been going on, but also when you look at on the SIOP page, you can find all the election opportunities, and right now there is open election opportunity that is there for nursing steering group members and supportive care. You can just visit the SIOP website and you'll find all those opportunities. Linda also says that working at the continental level is also a great way to get involved And there are a lot of activities and initiatives that are happening within the continental programs like SIOP Africa. There are a lot of initiatives that are happening on the sub-Saharan Africa, education and all that. So I think it's good when we make sure that we try as much as to get involved to all these initiatives within our continent, but the member of SIOP, so that you always get the notification that there is this position that is in. Someone is asking if you can be able to link to the Nutrition Network group. Yeah, I think Julia has just shared the link to join the Nutrition Network group. Is there any other thing to ask?
Excuse me, Elianeth, do you think it would, if Elianeth feels comfortable, she could talk, they just did a SIOP Europe meeting. Maybe she could say a few words about how that went, so people learn what happens at the continental level. Elianeth, are you comfortable in sharing?
Yes, of course. Now,
Is that okay, Elianeth? I just thought because Linda brought up continents.
Sure, that's very okay.
thanks, Julia. Well, we are very, very happy because the SIOP Europe is really doing a lot of things now. We are only 1 year working, and now we have two groups, very important group working, one in palliative care, another in nutrition. And also we are participating in a lot of things like with you in the SIOP. We are working together in the competencies, and also we are involved in the Polaris project that has been one of our goals is to have nurses involved in each working group. Doesn't matter if the working group is not the physician working group, it's the working group of all of us. That means the physician, nurses, psychologists, pharmacists, all of us are working in the same project and with the same children. That is the most important thing. Talking about what you said before, Julia, about the adolescent, we are going to sign in shortly a memorandum of understanding with the EONs, and working together. The EONs will be always in the SIOP meeting, and the SIOP nurses will be in the EON meeting, and we are going to work together in teenagers. So we are very, very happy with our group and with the nurses that they are involved on this.
Thank you so much, Eugenia, for all that. And Julia has shared the link for the Polaris project. You can just go to that and you can get more information about that. Now, now we have heard about the future directions for our nursing SIOP network. Maybe I would love to hear the feedback from you. Like, what are your feedback for these future directions that we have just shared, which Courtney has just shared? Any feedback?
This is a safe space. You know, this was meant to serve you. So we really need your open feedback on these directions. No right or wrong answers.
Hi, can I speak? Yes, first of all, I would like to thank SIOP for giving me an opportunity to present as a speaker in the SIOP Asia Congress. That's where I met YY as well, and Liz. It was wonderful meeting the team. I could understand and get the whole broad concept and prospect of how SIOP is working. So I'm from India. My name is Larry, and I'm a palliative care nurse. I'm the first nurse in India to be pursuing PhD in palliative care nursing. I'm a national faculty as well, and an LNEC trained. Apart from that, my daughter was diagnosed with retinoblastoma in 2020, and I've been the parent advocate for retinoblastoma with the NGO Can Kids in India. So this was a very wonderful opportunity for me to network and to understand how SIOP really works and what are the various areas. So with your future perspective, I'm it is a very clear concept. It's very streamlined. You're branching the work that you have put out and the goals that you've put out. It's very clear, and it gives a real crystal understanding of what direction you're heading to. So I think that's very good of you. And definitely, as we go along, we are going to meet and have many more nurses who join us, and that way they will be the right fit in their roles. So all the best and all support from my side.
Thank you so much, Larry, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Larry. Had raised our hand.
Hi, I just wanted to share, when you put this slide up for the nursing network, what struck me was all the activities nursing's involved with and how far it's within the organization. So as the staff nursing has moved through the years, we really have grown. It was very evident looking at that slide and where we're at now, and how really continuing an impact throughout the organization as nursing voice. And so the message very clear, and I think there's many opportunities versus globally at many different levels to get involved, but also as a nurse profession to be recognized and heard for our many contributions currently and in the future through organization. So well done.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. We can also use the chat to put on our feedback for the future and all that. Well, I feel like there's no more feedback, so I hand over to Courtney to proceed.
Thank you so much, Elena. Before we end, I'd just like to give an opportunity to anyone on the steering group who would like to say anything. about your experiences with the strategic plan, future development, anything that you would like to share with our members.
Maybe I will just share. Yeah, so I'm YY. I'm one of the members of the nursing steering group. This will actually be my last year in the steering group. And I just wanted to call out to everybody. I think just to think about my experience when Lisa, the previous chair actually told me, oh, why don't you try to kind of get into the steering group? At first, I was really quite worried. I was thinking like, can I really do this? And yeah, it was a little lost. And I think there was a lot of encouragement from the nursing leaders who see me grow and taught me a lot. Many of them are here. And when I get in, I think there was a lot that I learned along the way. And I think this is really a good opportunity for everybody. And we know there's one opening. So like what Julia said, please go for it. Anyone can actually be one as long as you're a SIOP member. And that I promise you, this journey is going to be a good one with the leadership from the steering group. So please join us, or you can be engaged in any other ways.
And I just want to echo why it's an exciting time for SIOP nursing. So we're so excited you're here, and we hope to see you get even more involved, and welcome all of you.
So the same thing for me. So this is Muhammad Al-Qudaimat. So I have been listening to all this discussion and conversation and great presentation. So thank you so much for joining us. I just recently elected to be member of the steering group, and it's amazing experience. You know, the first time I joined SIOP was in 2006, and I was very amazed with the inclusive environment. Remember, we are a global community. That means that we should be part of it. So it's for all of us from any area in the world, from any country. So please join us, and I'm very happy that seeing many faces here, and we are here to help you if you need any help. If you have any questions, we're here to answer your questions. Also, you can contact us, and we'll help you, and all members of the steering committee will help you. Thank you so much once again for joining us today.
Well, as for me as well, I'll just encourage who is in position to nominate yourself. Just put your name forward, and we'll be happy and gladly to have new member. And I have learned a lot from YY. She has mentored me even on when we met in Barcelona. She taught me a lot of things, and sure, this is a very good environment for mentorship and growth. I can say as well, I joined SIOP in 2017, and by then the first person I met who had been my forever mentor, Julia Challinor, and Linda, and other nurses, they have coached me a lot, and this is a very good network for growth, particularly in pediatric oncology nursing. And there are a lot of opportunities. Julia has mentioned it. In a pediatric oncology, is not only about the pediatric. We deal about the pediatric, adolescents, and young adults as well. We deal with them, and it's a very prime specialty, and it's good. With this network, you get to grow stronger day by day. We learn and share experience from across the continent, and we put those experiences into our daily practices, and our life gets easier. Yeah, so please put your name forward, as Julia said.
Yeah. I want to jump once again. So you talk about the practice, but also right now we are trying to expand our vision in terms of research. If you are interested in research, as Courtney mentioned, that we started on the task force right now, and it's going to be like working group, that there are too many like future opportunities. So we're thinking about right now. So if you're interested in research, this is again the right timing to think about joining us. So just little note.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. And with that, you know, we'll be creating opportunities for people to get involved. But this is also a two-way street. If there is something that you're interested in, that you have a passion for, and a vision for, and would like to lead or start, please contact us. And we can see, you know, how this could potentially work with our future directions and how we can support you. So please keep that in mind as well. We are a society made up of volunteers who are here because we're passionate. You know, we're passionate about pediatric oncology nursing care globally. So we can move the needle on the science, on the practice of pediatric oncology nursing like never before. I fully believe that. I think the time we're right on the cusp, we're going to get ready, and then we're going to be very intentional and targeted to make global impact. So if you have specific vision, specific interests, look at our strategic plan, please. You know, if you want to do something under a SIOP umbrella, you know, this is the time to start thinking about it, especially in these formative times within the network. So we welcome those ideas. We welcome your leadership, your expertise to move that needle. So Julia, you have your hand up.
I want to know if you can mention Foundation S and the My Child Matters, talking about the future as an opportunity.
So we do have My Child Matters awards, wonderfully, that are nursing awards. This past year, it was a 15,000 euro award for nurses from low and middle income countries. This past year, it did include middle income countries again, whereas in the past it was focusing on lower middle income countries, just as an aside. But going forward, this is a 3-year project. We had 10 of them that were funded for 15,000 euros each, quality improvement, education, and research. So those are opportunities for nurses to get funded to do projects. There's also, you know, opportunities with the QI Nursing Scholars Program that we had funded this last year. We shared more about that in our second webinar, so I encourage you to listen to that webinar to hear updates. Also, in the quarterly report, we'll have some updates on it as well. Did you want to mention anything else on that, Julia?
Just wanted to say that you can look, there'll be another call, we hope, in the fall after Congress or at Congress. So be on the lookout. That 15,000 euro is for over 3 years. So 5,000 euro each year. And you can apply in clinical practice, education, or research. The application we've tried to make very simple. If you need help locating it, look at the SIOP website, the nursing website. You'll see the call there and also in the bulletin when it comes out. But you also, if you come to Congress or you attend virtually, you might see there some information about the nurses that won this year, because they were fantastic projects. So there were 10 projects. So the chances of you getting selected, if you're from a lower middle income country, are reasonable, as opposed to when you go to the big grants where there's like hundreds and thousands of people applying. So just keep an eye out. It's the only one I know, the only group I know that gives money directly to nurses from low and middle income countries, through the only one we have. And it's made a tremendous difference. A lot of people on this, some of the people on this screen have actually won one before, and Elianeth's won 2 of them. So it happens. You can get funding.
All right, and with that, we will close the session. Thank you all for taking the time to learn about the future of the SIOP Nursing Network, to dialogue with us. Our door is always open. I do encourage you, on a monthly basis to check out the Global Health Network Nursing Working Group educational sessions. Those are announced within the weekly bulletin as a place to learn and engage with your colleagues throughout the year. Again, keep your eyes out for the announcement that was just posted today for the steering group position that is open. And then in the future, additional opportunities with the formation of working groups and initiatives. And please do contact us if there's something burning in your heart, an idea that you want to see cultivated and you think SIOP might be